Hello there. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. We will get started in just a second. All righty, there my notifications go. Let's see here. Alrighty, it looks a little dark. I don't like that. Alrighty. Hey, Jerry, good evening. Let me adjust my lights while you guys come in. All right, let's see if that helped. Hey there. There's Dominique. How are you, sweetheart? Glad to see you on. This still looks a little bit dark. I'm trying a new system on tonight, so we'll see how this goes. But welcome, everybody. It is Robin. I'm so excited to be back on with you guys. Let me know that you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up or say yes in the comments so that I know you are on board. There's Dominique, thank you. And Jerry. Let's see here. I'm getting used to this new little dashboard, so let me see what I'm working with. Okay, good stuff. All righty. Well, tonight I am going to be speaking to my entrepreneurs. So again, I was on earlier today and I shared that I've been traveling. And so I took a little break. I took a week's vacation, went to the beach, and then I just took a week to just not do anything. I only did what I wanted to do, and that was it. Hey, Daniel, glad to see you on. And so then I started doing some projects here at the house. I'm so excited. I'm back able to kind of focus on redecorating. So I ordered a new couch, and so it'll be here in September. So I'm excited about that. So I'll show you guys kind of the updates as they come along. I'm doing a few other things. So I'll keep you guys abreast of what is going on. So I am so sorry that the lighting looks dark. Let me check it out over here on Facebook. But I'm trying a new system as I shared, and it looks really clear on my screen. But I am looking at I'm looking on my computer, and it looks a little dark. And so I don't like that. But so I'll know what to do next time. But let's go ahead and get started. I am so excited to share this teaching on tonight. It's going to be kind of introspection and just giving you guys the opportunity to kind of think through, your mindset as it relates to entrepreneurship. So for those of you that I've not had the pleasure of meeting, I'm Robin Ware. I'm the president of the Ware Agency, and my business, I work with churches and pastors, and I teach hospitality. I teach, let me see if this does something here. Hold on, guys. Okay. I teach hospitality as well as I do leadership training. So I'm also extremely blessed as a result of doing all of that, of working with faith-based entrepreneurs. So a lot of my speaking engagements, people come up to me and say, how'd you get started? How have you been able to be in business? This is my 17th year, so I'm excited about that. And so I started coaching. And so I wrote a book called How to Make Your Inbox Your CashBox. You can see it right there behind me. So I'm going to be teaching a little bit from that tonight as well. But I heard a message on yesterday by Pastor Jamal Bryant, and it was called I'm Not Making Enough. And I've been intrigued because he's in a series where he is focusing on wealth building for entrepreneurs. And so they're redoing or recreating the Black Wall Street, which is really exciting, right near his church. And those of you that know me, I used to work at New Birth. So New Birth will always have a little special place in my heart. So I'm so glad to see them, back, as Frankie Beverly says, back in stride again. I'm so excited doing the kingdom, doing the work of the Lord in the kingdom. And so God gave me the desire to work with entrepreneurs. It's not something that I do, every day, because of course I run a full-time agency. But as a coach, one of the things that I teach is that you should work with a coach that is doing what they're coaching you to do. And so I'm that example. So I still run my own business full-time. I sell products, I sell training courses, I speak, all across the country. So I'm really extremely blessed. And so I use a lot of what I teach is from my own experiences. So I told you guys that I was, let's see here, I'm using a new system. So I'm trying to just play with it a little bit and see if I am doing it right. Okay, so tonight again, the title is from Pastor Jamal Bryant's sermon, I'm Not Making Enough. And it really blessed me. As an entrepreneur, I do my best. I work really, really hard to stay motivated. I work really hard to continue to pour into others, but then I work really hard to receive as well. So I have a coach. As a matter of fact, I'm working with a couple coaches. And any given time, I'm typically working with 2 coaches. And when I say working with them, I mean I'm paying them and I'm having regular sessions with them. And, I'm to grow and to become who God asked me to be. Hey, Sean, glad to see you. Yes, I've missed you too, darling. And so that's one of my criteria. When I work with a coach, they have to be working in what they're teaching me. And so I don't want to just be taught theory. I want practical application. I want to know that what they're teaching me, it actually works, because they have, they're doing it, for themselves. All right. So before I get started, does anyone have a question? Begin to think about, if you've got any questions about entrepreneurship, I will gladly answer them to the best of my ability. But Pastor Bryant, when he started the sermon on yesterday, he encouraged us to order a book called The Secrets of Six-Figure Women. And so again, loving to learn, I went ahead and I ordered the book. It'll be here tomorrow. So once I read it, I'll definitely come back and share with you what the book says the secrets are. I'm blessed to be a 6-figure woman as well. And so I can share from my years of learning what I have gained and picked up as an entrepreneur. So I got some secrets I can tell you as well. But here are a couple points that Pastor Bryant said. He said, those who think negatively are committed to being, or he said this is in the book, I'm sorry. Those who think negatively are committed to being under earners. That just, it confirmed a lot of what I teach my students. It's so important that you think positively. It's so important that you control what comes out of your mouth. It's so important what you allow in, that you take in, that you listen to, that you watch, because it affects how you ultimately view, the lens that you look at, the lens that you look through to see the world. And so if your lens is always negative, whatever the situation is, you're going to always have a negative contrast to it. So I am, hey, Manisha, glad to see you on. I am so committed to strategically thinking about what I'm going to say. When people speak to me, I correct them, I stop them, I make them rephrase their comments. I'm not rude about it, but I'm very intentional about it, because I'm very protective about what I take in. Then he said, the book says, you can't have a high tolerance for low pay. When I tell you guys, you cannot have, let me type this in. You cannot have, oh, it says I can't type, so you guys have to type for me. Oh, yes, I can. Let's see here. You can't have a high tolerance for low pay. When I tell you that, just it spoke, let me see, it spoke volumes to me, because so oftentimes, there we go. Let me post this. I want you all to see it. There you go. You can't have a high tolerance for low pay, meaning when you are presenting your services, when you're, selling your products, you can't become comfortable in getting low pay. That's why I tell my students, you can start off by selling a $10 ebook, but that's just where you start. That's not where you stay. Write that down. $10 may be where you start, but that is not where you stay. So when you're creating something that you're selling for $10, it is just an entryway to what's next. So I know you may be saying, well, you've got books and your books are $10 and $15, $20. They are entryways to my $5,000 coaching program. That $20 book is an entryway to my $3,500 program. That $20 book is an entryway to my $249 a month coaching program for event planners. So you see where I'm going with that? So you have to be focused on your tolerance level. Oh my goodness, I tell you, that blessed me so much. All right. So then he said, let's see. I took notes, y'all. I'm not kidding. I took notes. So I want to make sure I read this right. High earners insist that they are compensated for their time and their work. Write that down. High earners insist that they are compensated for their time and their work. Now, what that means is, hey, Janice from the D, I see you, sweetheart. Isaiah, so glad to see you guys. Good stuff. But what that means is, as a high earner, that you insist that you be paid for your time and your work. When someone hires you for a project, I've had this happen to me. They'll say, I want you to do X, Y, Z. And so you send them a proposal and you'll say, okay, X, Y, Z costs $3,000. So then they'll say, well, what can you do to make it, $1,000? And then my response is nothing. Why? Because I'm charging you for not only the production of my work, but my time. You need to charge for your work and your time. Oh my goodness. I see you, Manisha. Good. Thank you for writing that down. Hey, Francis, glad to see you as well. Good, Kim. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So when you're charging for your work and your time, then you'll never be comfortable, charging, I'll just say, $300. So when someone does a consultation with me, they pay me, or not a consultation, when someone does a 1-hour session with me, they pay me an hourly rate. It's $300. So you may say, oh my goodness, Robin, $300 is a lot of money. You're paying not just for the knowledge that I'm going to share, but for my time. So that's what you have to wrap your mind around. The services that you're buying, it is for my knowledge and for my time for me to show up. Now, if you don't want me to show up and you might want one of my team members, then I'll charge you different. I'll charge you based on the scale that their time is worth. And that's no tea, that's no shade. What that is saying is, and I love this about hairstylists, they charge you based on their master stylist level, right? So it's the same concept. You can go into a hair salon and get your hair washed by a beginner or by a master stylist. Now, at the end of the day, you're going to come out with your hair done. But what's it going to look like is the question. Are you going to be happy with what it looks like? So it's the same thing. You have to recognize and remember as an entrepreneur, that finished product that they're going to end up with, that's where the money is. That is where the money is. So you charge based on that. All right. Good stuff. I hope that that makes sense to you guys. All right, let's keep going. He says, then too many of us appreciate supporting roles when we were ordained for starring roles. Listen, again, I took notes. He said, too many of us appreciate supporting roles when we were ordained for starring roles. I'm a star, y'all. I'm a star. Y'all type that in the comment section. I'm a star. You have to speak it. You have to begin to believe it. The first person to believe that you're a star has to be you. It has to be you. And you know what? No shame in my game. I'm a star. I was born to win. The scriptures tell me that I win. Listen, you have to be comfortable with being a star. I wasn't created to be in a supporting role. Now, some of you may say, well, I was. That's fine. But I wasn't. And I'm not going to allow someone that is fine with being a supporting role, in a supporting role, to convince me that I shouldn't be in a starring role. Think about that. I am not going to allow someone that is comfortable with being assigned to a supporting role to make me feel bad or guilty that I am destined for a starring role. I see you guys putting it in the comments. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. So when you're a star, you get star billing. Think about it. Your name is bigger than other people. And it's not that you're looking down on them or that you think less than, about them. But it's just that you know your worth. The whole title of his sermon was, I'm not making enough. Yeah, see, I'm a star. Stars get top billing. They get top pay. So if you're a star and you're not getting top billing and you're not getting top pay, you've tuned into the right stream on tonight. Make sure whatever network that you're hanging out with me on, that you like it, that you like this video, that you, if you're on YouTube, of course, that you hit the bell so that you're alerted when I go live, because I want to make a deposit in you that just reinforces what God says about you. All right, so get ready. This is going to be a really, really good session on tonight. Now, I've got one more thing that he said I wanted to share with you all. He says, whatever you devalue, you discount. Good God Almighty. Whatever you devalue, you discount. So see, those of you that you have service-based business and people ask you to reduce your rates and you do it, you're saying, I devalue my services. Now, unless you've got a strategy as to why you're doing that, sometimes I reduce my rate, but it's based on, the fact that they may have given me a 6-month contract, a year-long contract. There's a rhyme and a reason. I'm talking about you all that are just one-hit wonders with projects. And people say to you, reduce your rate. Now, if you're just getting started and you're trying to build, I'm not really talking to you. But I'm talking to those of us that have been out here grinding for a while. We've got offices. We've got production suites, right? We come online and we teach. We're coaching others. Yeah, you have to understand that when you devalue your work, whatever you devalue, you discount. So don't do that to yourself. Figure out a way. That's why I say sometimes I'll offer up that they can work with somebody else on my team. My rates include more than just the cost of services. What did I tell you? That I charge for time as well as what? I charge for 2 things. My rates cover 2 things. My rates cover 2 things. That's right. My rates cover time and they cover my work. All right. My rates cover my time and they cover my work. So you got to keep that in mind, that time is money and you deserve to be paid for it. All right. So that's right. My niche is skills. Absolutely. What I bring to the table, the reason why you wanted me, that is what my rate includes. So I want to help you guys understanding his last point was fight your fear of negotiation. How many of you all are afraid to negotiate? How many of you all are afraid to negotiate? You know, I'm that girlfriend that when we go on trips to the islands or we go to a flea market or a street market, I'm the girlfriend that you want to negotiate. I am not afraid to negotiate. And it's not that I want to rip people off. Not at all. It's just that I understand value. I understand value. And if you understand value, then when you meet someone like me that isn't afraid to negotiate, then you know how to handle me. So I love to negotiate. So I see some of you all saying yes, 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 that you have a fear of negotiating. I am actually selling my old house. And in working out the deal to sell the house, you know, the buyer gave me a list of things that they wanted me to address or fix. And I negotiated what I would address or fix. And so it became a little tense. That's part of negotiating. It's not personal. It's just a part of negotiating. Anytime you're asking someone for something that they didn't expect, it can kind of throw them off guard. But as long as you keep everything professional, it's okay. It's absolutely okay. And that's why a lot of you are afraid to negotiate or don't like to negotiate, because you don't like that uneasy, awkward feeling that happens with negotiations. It's okay with me. You know, I learned this a long time ago, and that is to never become wedded to something. Because as long as you aren't wedded to it, you can let it go. And so when you're negotiating, you have to know that there's a line that you're willing to let the negotiating go to. And if it crosses, then you might lose out. And are you okay with that? That's why they tell you when you're going to buy a house, going to buy a car, going to buy something expensive, never let the salesperson see your enthusiasm. Just say, yeah, it looks nice. I like it. I've seen others though. It's okay. Because you want to have a level to negotiate. But if you show your whole card, then they're like, oh yeah, I know that she really wants this, so I don't really have to negotiate because she's already shown me through her actions she wants this. Nope, you got to be willing to walk away. When I tell you I have walked away from a many negotiations, only to have them call me back and say, wait a minute. Yeah, I thought so. So think about that, all right? So again, he said, you have to fight your fear of negotiating. You know, start adding that to your prayer list. Ask God to help you fight your fear of negotiating. It's not personal. You're not going to lose friends over it. As long as you're professional with it, it's just business. It's just business. All right. Hey, Shantae, glad to see you on, sweetheart. So I want you, a part of this teaching tonight, again, from my book, How to Make Your Inbox Your Cash Box, is how to make more. All right. So his message was, I'm not making enough. Well, I want to help you in how to make more. So in my book on page 7, for those of you that have it, and for those of you that want to get it, let me go ahead and put this up for you. there you go, is how to make your inbox your cash box. You can go to my website, thewareagency.com/store, and get your copy. But one of the things I want you to stop doing so that it will help you make more money, to be more successful, to have more wins in your column, is I want you to stop listening to everything everybody is saying. See, the more you listen to all these people, the more you take in and you eventually own their stuff. That's why I'm very selective with who I listen to. I listen to people that speak life, that are positive, that encourage me to win, that tell me it's okay with declaring I'm a star, right? So I want you to stop listening to negative Nancy's. How many of you are honest? Put the word me in the comment box, in the chat box, if you've got some negative Nancy's that you honestly have been listening to. Yeah, I'm going to wait. I want to see this. How many of you all have got some negative Nancy's you've been listening to? Well, it's just not the right season. It's COVID. People aren't going to buy. It's COVID. People aren't going to travel. It's COVID. We can't do that. Listen, you have to cancel the negative Nancy's. You got to cancel them. And anyone that isn't in agreement with your confession of faith, it's time to go. Cut them loose. Cut them loose. Still be kind. You can meet them for coffee. Maybe you're going to be the change that they need to experience so they could stop being a negative Nancy. But don't give them access to the majority of your time. That girlfriend that calls you every other night crying about a man, don't have a man. You know, why did somebody else get a man and I didn't get a man? Hang up. Hang up. I don't want a man if it's not God's timing for me to have a man. So I'm not going to do the investigative work. I'm not going to go out and search and ask her. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Excuse me. I know too many people that are in found relationships, people they found. All right. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I am going to be found by someone. I'm not going to go find someone. All right. So think about that. Yep. So I want you to stop listening to the negative Nancy's. So I want you to write down what you've been told as far as it relates to your success that's been negative. I want you can use your phone, or you can write it down on a pad of paper, but write down what you've been told that is negative as it pertains to your success. For instance, I've been told that I'll never achieve, six-figure success working with churches. So that's one of mine, that working with churches is one of my negatives. All right. Another negative I've been told is that because I'm single, I'll never get invited to the big boy table. All right. Because I'm single, I'm writing this down. I'm doing what I'm asking you guys to do. Because I'm single, I won't be invited to the big boy table. All right. And then a third one that I've been told is that because I don't pastor, that I'll never gain a following from other pastors and leaders. So because I'm not a pastor, I won't gain a following from other pastors or leaders. All right. We are writing down 3 negative things you've been told as it relates to your success. 3 negative things that you've been told as it relates to your success. Maybe some of you all have been told that because, you don't have a degree, that you're never going to experience a level of success that you think you are. Maybe you've been told because you're a single parent, because you got divorced, because you filed bankruptcy, all of that stuff. Think about the negative things you've been told as it relates to you having success. And this isn't just for entrepreneurs. If you work a job, what have you been told negatively as it relates to your success? See, where I'm going is I'm helping you understand this is how you transition from a supporting role to a starring role. Yeah. So we're going to address those fears that have caused you to stumble in the lane of supporting role versus starring role. All right. Good stuff. Hello, Tanya Bridgman. Glad to see you on. Let's see. Brandy, glad to see you on. Okay. All right. So look at those 3 things. And I want to say this to you guys. The 3 things that you've written down, those things are rooted in you, right? You've taken ownership of them. Even myself, I have always been told by non-church people that I'll never make the type of money that I could make if I didn't work with churches. So that kind of, resides in me, right? So I don't take ownership of it, but I recognize that is like one of the biggest negative things that I've been told. However, it's time to flip the script, right? Now that we've written out our 3 negative things that people have told us about our success, I want you to write your counter response. So, with me being told that I'll never experience the success that I could if I didn't work with churches, my positive counter response is that God has assigned churches and pastors to my business that need and value my services. They will pay me my worth because I shall have whatsoever I say. So that positive, I've also added in my confession of faith. And my confession of faith is biblically based. So write your positive counter response to the negative statement that has been spoken in your life. All right. The negative things that have been spoken in your life. So another negative is because I'm single, I'll never be invited to the big boy table. Right. Well, I get to say that my response to that is that every door that is supposed to be open for me shall be opened because God is my source. Right. God is my source. And where I'm weak, he's strong. I'm telling you, it works. You put it out there, you speak to it. You don't have to fight with people. You don't have to cuss people out, none of that. It's all about what you take in on the inside and take ownership of. So it's fine. Those negative thoughts, those negative statements, they just fuel me. Fuel. They fuel me, but they don't guide me. All right. So think about your 3 negative statements, and I want you to come up with your 3 positive. So in my book, How to Make Your Inbox Your CashBox, I give you a chart here to do just that. So do all 3, and then I want you to commit to unlearn some things. All right. And that's how you're going to be able to prosper. That's how you're going to be able to make that shift, do that pivot from being comfortable in a supporting role and being positioned for a starring role. You got to unlearn some things. All right. So first thing I want you to unlearn is that success does not come overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens over many overnights. So don't get caught up in, well, I'm 50 and I haven't achieved XYZ. It just means it's not been time yet. It just means that you've got to shift your focus to some things to build a foundation so that those things can begin to fall into place. All right? So don't get stuck on time. We already know that Chronos time doesn't operate like chronological time. So it's really, really important that you unlearn that. All right? You shall have everything that God has promised you to have. You just got to stay the course. You just have to stay the course. I bought my dream home as a single woman 2 years ago. And there was a time where I thought I'm probably never going to get my dream home because I'm not married. And I immediately, I repented. I apologized to God for that thought because I knew, he could do whatever he wants in my life, right? So I want you to be careful about what you're focused on. It's not too late. It's not too late to be what you should have been. You can still be it. You can still do it. You can still achieve it. I've been so blessed at looking at all the posts on social media from people graduating. I saw a mother that was like 79 years old that got her bachelor's degree. A girlfriend of mine posted that she got her master's and she's 59. I think that is fantastic. All right. So don't get stuck there. You do not have to take ownership in that. All right. I want you to unlearn that it takes money to move mountains. No, it doesn't. It doesn't take money to move mountains. It takes faith to move mountains. What do I mean by mountains? Lack of workspace, lack of equipment, lack of tools, lack of clients. It doesn't take money. Oh, well, I need to go run ads and I need to go do this. No, social media is free. There's strategies that you can work that are free. I recently traveled and a young lady that I follow online, she has started a clothing line. And the way she started it is just an incredible story. But anyway, she successfully, managed, and she's got this store going. And so she recently secured a brick and mortar building. And I've never bought anything from her. But when she was sharing her story with me, I immediately pulled out my phone and said, "What's your Cash App?" And she was like, "What's my Cash App?" I said, "Yeah, what's your Cash App?" Now, I admired a dress that she had on, but it wasn't important for me to order that dress. It was more important for me to sow that seed into her. And so the dress was like $49 or something, but I gave her $100 seed. Why? Because that $100 seed was going to help her in moving into the brick and mortar business. Whereas if I bought a $49 dress, she still would have to take out the cost of the dress, right? Remember cost, her time, all of that. So she may have only netted about $20. Whereas I wanted her to have the whole $100 because her faith moved that mountain for her to start her business and now for her to go into a brick and mortar. So God sent me. He used me as the vessel. And I sewed that into her. Totally unexpected. She and I aren't girlfriends, not good friends. I don't even have her in my phone, none of that. We just ran into each other at an event and began talking. So I didn't know going to that event that I was going to see her, that I was going to sow that seed, none of that. I started asking her what her ideas were for her shop. And then she started saying she needed this, she needed that. I said, "Well, how much does that cost? How much does that cost?" I just wanted to see if she'd kind of done her work, and she had. And so I sowed the seed. So remember, it is not money that moves mountains. It is faith. I told you I'm teaching. I'm teaching from my book, How to Make Your Inbox Your Cash Box. All right. And then success comes to those that have a business plan, an accountant, a CPA. Absolutely not true. We know as people of faith that success comes to those that are obedient. They're obedient to the word of God. You apply biblical principles and God will open up the windows of heaven and pour you out blessings, so much so that you will not have room enough to receive it. All right. So keep that in mind. Don't get stuck on, well, I don't have a business plan. I don't have a CPA. I don't have an accountant. I don't know how to do this. Go to YouTube. I follow people on YouTube that give me great advice about finances. Today is tax day. So, if you needed any help about, what to claim on your taxes, if you can't afford a CPA, go to YouTube. I know there's some great CPAs that have YouTube channels that share all kind of amazing tips. I decided to get something trademarked last year. I went to YouTube to learn how to do it and then connected with an attorney, and I in turn hired that attorney to do the trade work for me. All right. So these are some things I want you to unlearn. I'm helping you shift from I'm not making enough money to I'm making more than enough money so that I can help you get out of that box of being in a supporting role to a starring role. All right. Well, I hope that this has been a blessing to you. Again, all of this was from my book, How to Make Your Inbox Your CashBox. Order your copy. I've got digital copies as well as hard copies that we can mail out to you. Just go to the wareagency.com/store. All right. So now I'm going to take some questions. If you've got any questions, I'd be glad to answer your questions. All right, let me just put this up. There it is. Some of you, my Cash App is Robin Ware Speaks, $ Robin Ware Speaks. If you just want to sow a seed and just as a sign of encouragement or to thank me for whatever, this confirming word that you may have needed, whatever, it's all up to you. But there is my Cash App. Now, what questions do you have? And even comments. I love reading your comments. So let me see what you guys are saying over here in the comments. All right. Any more comments? I don't know why it's not moving. Let's see what's going on. Told you guys I'm using this new system tonight, so good. Ashley says this has been such an inspiration. Good stuff. Brandy says yes, this is good. Oh, great, great, great. I am going to do my best to be back next Monday night at 7:30 as well, so that I can share more motivating messages for my entrepreneurs. Listen, I am in this to win this, and I pray you are as well. I speak and declare that you're going to have that holy boldness that you need to build your dreams, to believe God for the unbelievable. Listen, a lot of you are thinking too small. I know you probably heard that before, but I am a living witness that you got to think big, that our God is so big and so amazing. He could truly do the unthinkable. Lisa Williams says, thank you for the confirmation. I'm 2 weeks into my new VA business. Amen. I'm so excited for you. Jerry says this is helpful. Liz says good stuff. Let me tell you guys something. Some of you all won't start because you don't have the tools. You see here I am teaching using this new system. I'm not happy about the lighting, but I still taught. I did not teach, right? I still taught. So I want you to go ahead and start. Don't let the start stop you. A lot of you, oh, I don't have a pretty background like she does, or, I'm not comfortable. Do it scared. Do it scared. One of the things I teach my students is you have to be comfortable. You have to become comfortable being uncomfortable. All right. So yeah, it's a little uncomfortable. I wish my lighting was better, but it's okay. I've still been a blessing. Right? I've still been a blessing. So I want you to keep that in mind. Brandy says, I've been following you for a while since a video you posted on how to hug women in church, and I've stayed on. Oh, that's so good. Thank you so much. I actually started and redid my home office from you saying, just start with what you have. That's exactly right. I wish I could show you guys the progress that my office has made. I'm so proud of it, but it has been a work in progress, and it still is. So I'll be sharing more about that as well. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. Let me give you guys my Instagram so that you'll know. I do my Instagram stories there. So here we go. So make sure, you follow me on Instagram at Robin M. Ware, and you will stay connected, or will stay connected. Let's see, any other questions or comments? Thank you guys so much for the great comments. Hey, everybody needs a word of encouragement, a pat on the back, including me. So thank you so much. I appreciate. Keep me in your prayers. Keep my business in your prayers. I speak and declare that God is going to continue to send increase and overflow to your business. All right. God bless you. Continue to pursue those ideas. Do your research. Don't give up. All right. God bless you. Love you guys. Bye-bye.